What's up, guys? Joseph Good and Curse the Wizard here, and this here is just a quick intro before I get started. And it's basically about my e-bike, the GoTyger Fat Tire 500 watt all-terrain e-bike. Anyway, this is the bike here. You guys will see more of it in the next video. But anyway, the point that I want to get at was first I went out to a bike shop. They said we don't work on any bikes that aren't bought from the store because of this issue, that issue, this issue, that issue. Okay, the issue that a lot of people are having with these fat tire e-bikes, especially the models, that are generic, that are coming from China and places like that, is a lot of people can't get their back wheel off. They don't understand that all you got to do is once you get the nuts off, because it's a dropout. Once you get the nuts off, the back wheel's not going to come off. It's locked into place. You got to twist your axle about an eighth of an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, and then when you twist the axle after the nuts are off, the wheel is ready to come off and this and that. So at first, when I brought it to apparently a bike mechanic, because I know nothing about mechanics up until now, to change the tire and the brakes, he changed the brake, could not get the back wheel off, told me that it was seized on there and that I would have to get a grinder and grind that nut off or whatever and this and that. And I thought, what? I thought, wait a minute, hold on. Theory is simple, and I mean, facts are facts. You can't fix something that didn't break, and you can't break something that wasn't fixed to begin with. So if the tire went on to begin with, obviously it can come off, right? I know it wasn't seized in there, welded in there in place. I mean, if it was that jammed in, you take a hammer and you bang it out, whatever. But I mean, you don't got to grind it off. So thank God we didn't do that. So I came home, all discouraged, had the brakes, didn't get the tire changed, and I just did a little quick research and found out. I looked at the axle and I was like, what? Wait a minute, that don't line up. And when I did that, all of a sudden, she came right out of the dropout. So disconnect the power, that was it. Once that was done, changed the tire, got it back on, chain loose as hell. They're telling me, okay, your chain is stretched by this much, and no matter what, it can't be, you got to replace the chain, this and that. I go to the bike shop, an actual e-bike shop. He's telling me, even though I'm telling him the chain's stretched, even though we checked it and it's stretched, he's telling me, oh no, you got all kinds of room to back that wheel up, and that's going to tighten your chain. So I thought, well, it makes sense, but I don't know what happens with stretched chains or whatever. But if the wheel cannot move forward and it's pulled back to the right tension, stretched or not, it can't stretch any much more without breaking, right? So anyway, I guess the moral of the story is, if you're going to do something, especially you're going to buy your first e-bike or whatever, watch a lot of tutorials. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of practice. A lot of people are scared. They're scared to break something. You snip a wire or anything, and that's it. No power. If you break that part where it hooks into the hub motor in the back, you break that wire there where it goes in there. That's it. No more e-bike. And if you unplug it, to remove it from the main power source, and you plug it in wrong and twist the prong or something, that's it. So it's all things like that. But I guess you have to be a risk taker and you got to be confident. So anyway, we managed to change the tire, which was no problem. This is my second time trying to tighten the chain. The first time I know what I really did wrong. This time here it came out pretty good, I think. Tension's pretty good. I'm liking that. So yeah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say, and hopefully I can explain more down the road in these in the YouTube videos or whatever, because a lot of people are really having problems with these issues. And I mean, I go on all these social media platforms where I was trying to find the answer to the solution, and there was like 500 questions for the same situation. Can't get the back wheel off. How do you get the back wheel? How do you change the back wheel? And I'm thinking, well, how come all these people can't do this? There can't be thousands of e-bikes broken right from the manufacturer. There's got to be a way to do it. So All I did is a bit of research and boom, within 4 minutes I had that unlocked. That was it. All right, so anyway, so this here's what I did coming up next. So stay tuned and enjoy. Hey guys, how you doing? Joseph Gooden, Curse the Wizard here, and today we're going to be discussing some topics on the e-bike here. So basically, I ran into a few problems. This here's the e-bike, obviously. Okay, it's the GoTyger 500 watt e-bike, and the power's on. You can see the lights on, everything. But I just replaced the back tire, which they said could not come off because of turning the axle in order to get it off. In order, you gotta turn the once you get the nuts off, you gotta twist the axle for it to unlock, and then it'll fall out the dropout. But when you go to put it back on, as long as you tighten your nuts, you don't have to worry about putting this axle back into place. Now, you see how loose the chain is here? Way too loose. It's falling off. They're saying my chain's stretched, so we're gonna flip the bike upside down and see what we could do here. Okay, I'm gonna pause this and we'll get back into the video shortly. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the first thing we got to do here. Well, first I'll turn the lights off, turn the power off. Okay, turn the power off to the battery, and now we're gonna remove the battery first. Actually, there's not much point for me really pausing this because I was gonna throw it up on Facebook, but I'm not gonna bother. So we're looking at the back wheel here. Now, of course, the bike is on an angle, but I don't believe the space is exactly the same on both sides. There's a lot more space on the other side, I believe. So anyway, so the first thing we're gonna do here is I shut the power off to the battery as I showed you right here. That's power off. Now all we gotta do, okay, is take the keys. Where are the keys now? Okay, right here. Simple enough to remove the battery. You just unlock it like this. It's powered off, and then it just slides right off the bike, like so. That's it. So the battery's removed. Okay, so now that we have the battery off, as you can see, okay, which I did with the keys here, okay, which is great. I just put the battery in the room here, and the great thing about this is you can actually plug it in and charge it while it's off the bike. Now the next thing we're gonna do, because I want to flip the bike upside down, is we're gonna remove these mirrors here. So all we got to do for that is just start turning them. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it's a time duration or what. I tried pausing it and lost the video. But anyway, okay, in order to flip the bike upside down to try to adjust the wheel, because there's way too much tension on my chain, we're going to remove these mirrors, which were an addition to the bike that I personally actually... Okay, here we go. Hold on, I'll pause this. Okay, so to remove the mirrors, they just turn right off. This way here, I have these little things here, so I don't have to worry about when I put the bike upside down about the controller here. So I'm going to remove the other one. Okay, I had to get a tool. These little tools actually came with the mirror, so I'm going to have to tighten this up a little. Looks like I may have stripped it. Okay, I can't do this with one hand, so I'll pause it and take it off, and then we'll get back to the video here. There, so as you can see, that battery's off, the mirrors are off, and the great thing, I left these here pointers on, so when I flip it upside down, if I wouldn't have had these mirrors, I'd be directly on the controller. So now we're going to flip the bike upside down, and we'll get back to it. Okay, so now you can see the bike is flipped upside down. If we really take a close look at the back wheel, you could see it's not lined up properly. So if I do get it back and far enough, I should be able to align this. And the way you can tell is when you look at the tire right here. I'm straight on. You can see the tires a little bit. Yeah, she's not 100% perfectly lined up, especially looking from the back. It's close, but it's close, but you can see especially up towards the top here that the tire needs to go to the well, it would be to the left on my angle here. So okay, we're gonna stop this video for now and try loosening up these axle nuts and see what happens here. Okay, so now that I got the bike upside down, before I do anything here, I should snap a couple of pictures. Yeah, so right now basically just taking pictures here of the parts so I don't screw up anything when I go to put it back together. That's basically it. So these here are just pictures of the axle, the nuts, the dropout, all of that type of stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to post that, and we're gonna get right back into the video here shortly, right now actually. Okay, so now I'm going to try to see what happens when I unloosen this wheel here. Oh, this is what I wanted to get at. As far as tool goes, a pump, and all you just need, basically, this is all I have. Just basic tools, and most of them already come with the e-bike. Like, that's all you really need is just some basic tools, but they're very important. Alright, so there, what I did is I loosened this up and I brought this back. This is the part where the motor is, but I figured that would help. And then I tried to push the wheel out as much as I possibly could. Tension feels pretty good here, but for how long? You know, I don't know. I tightened it as much as I could, so we're gonna put the rubber caps back on, flip it up back up, and see what happens. Yeah, these are just basically the rubber caps here. So they just go on like this. Just like that. Just like that. Hopefully the wheel looks lined up pretty good with the frame, as you can see. So hopefully this helps. Alright, there, so I just flipped the bike over. I put the caps on. I just put my battery on. I just got to make sure that it's not locked in place. Battery's locked in place. Tension's perfect. That's perfect. I hope that holds because the chain's stretched, but let's see if the thing turns on. Power on the battery. Because I had to disconnect the cable there. Okay, let's try this gear. Hold on. I won't be able to record this, I don't think, but we'll try. See what happens. All I want to see is if when I press the gas, if it's going to turn. Brakes are working properly too. Alright, so everything's working. Chain seems to be loosening up though again, but anyway. Now it's time to put the mirrors back on. Alright, so there, we got the wheel back on the bike. As you can see, the nut caps are back on, everything's back on. My pedal was twisted, battery's back on, the mirrors are back on. See the chain tension, nice and tight. Now is this gonna hold? Well, I guess we'll find out. I think it's gonna slacken off again because it's chain stretch, but we're gonna see anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. Yep. Alright, so everything's in place. Just time to give her a test ride and see what happens and go from there. The wheel seems to be, like I said, the bike's on an angle right now, but if you look at the angle, everything seems to be lined up like, I mean, except this here or there, that could be obviously, you know, almost perfect, but it's just a fender. That's nothing. But if you look at the light in the wheel and the back part, and then you look in between the wheels, she's lined up. So we're gonna give it a shot. Alright guys, I'll be posting this on YouTube, and I'll also be taking it apart and doing it again if it's fixed to show you guys how it's done. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Hey guys, Joseph Gooden, Curious Wizard here, and this here's a conclusion to my video that I just made. And I took the bike out for a test ride, running perfectly smooth, tension held up. As you can see, if I go back to the slack on the chain, just pretty tight, a little bit loose, but not too bad. So yeah, that's basically about it. So I'm going to make a more in-depth tutorial down the road of how I did this step by step. This is just a rough draft that I basically did for myself. I'm going to upload it anyway, but yeah, that's all there is to it. So it's pretty simple. So I mean, once you get your own tools and you start doing it yourself, you'd be surprised what you can figure out with a little bit of research, taking some notes, and you know, putting your mind to it and trial and error, you know. All right, guys, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. And thanks for watching. Any questions, just ask, and I'll be glad to answer them if I can. So see you again. Thanks again.